my herb garden today collecting herbs for our very first How to Cook Your CSA video, where I show you how to get the most out of your Oak Ash Farm CSA. And today I am going to be making something that is so quintessential springtime to me. I'm going to be making a classic herbed vinaigrette, and it highlights all the best flavors of fresh herbs and delicious, tender early spring salads. So I'm going to walk you through how to make it with as many different herbs as you'd like. Things like thyme and savory and sage, parsley. And once you have this in your tool belt, you'll be able to make it any way you can possibly imagine. So stay tuned. One of the most important ingredients in this delicious herby salad dressing is chives. Now, an interesting fact about chives is that these flowers are actually edible. They smell amazing. They have more of a floral note than anything. So I'm going to sprinkle a few of these in my dressing, but I try to leave the rest for the bees. So I'm just going to take some of these, and these are a classic garlic chive, but we also have onion chives as well. So they're more like a blade of grass, where these are hollow, and they're going to add slightly different flavors. So I'm actually going to use both. I'm also going to use a lot of thyme. I really like thyme in, well, just about everything. And again, the flowers are edible, so we're going to throw some of those in as well, and it's going to be so beautiful. Hello, and welcome to my first ever How to Cook Your CSA video, where I show you how to get the most out of your CSA. I'm Lindsey from Oak Ash Farm, and today I thought I would start with something that is just so simple and so versatile. We are going to make salad dressing. I know that sounds silly, but once you learn this really basic base recipe, you can mix it up any way possible, and it's so good with fresh early spring greens. So I have some beautiful greens that I just went out and picked. There's butter lettuce, and there's a little bit of sorrel in here, which has a nice lemony flavor to it. Butter bibs and romaines, all kinds of delicious tender salad greens. Now, I also have a handful of fresh herbs that we picked earlier. And what's great about this recipe is once you learn a classic vinaigrette, you can mix any combination of herbs in here that you'd like. My personal favorites happen to be fresh tender parsley, some garlic chive, some thyme, and a little bit of savory. Now, savory can be kind of a strong flavor, so it's something I just like to use a small amount of. I also have this beautiful chive flower in here that smells so good. It's garlicky, but it also has a really sweet floral smell to it, and it'll be so pretty sprinkled over the top. So always make sure you're using the flowers as well. A few other things you're gonna need today. We have a mason jar. I actually find this to be the best possible way to do this, although you can also whisk this in a large bowl to emulsify it, but this is much easier. Some Dijon mustard, a nice grassy olive oil. I really like this one. It's the California Estate extra virgin olive oil from Trader Joe's, a nice red wine vinegar, and salt and pepper, and a shallot. So to start, I am just going to take one regular sized shallot, and I'm probably for this size jar only going to use about this much. You want about a tablespoon of minced shallot, and you want to really mince this small. This is going to add that really nice oniony flavor, but you don't want giant pieces of it in here. So I am just gonna mince this up really, really small. And we do not have any shallots ready yet, but oh my goodness, there are so many that are about to go into the ground. I started them in seed trays, and we have hundreds of them. So we are gonna be good with shallots for really the whole year. We'll be able to sneak them into CSAs all year long. Okay, so now that my shallot is cut, I'm just gonna add it to the jar. This is really assembly. This is not cooking. To this, I'm going to add a generous tablespoon of Dijon mustard. About 2 tablespoons of red wine vinegar. I like a really vinegary dressing. So, personal taste. Start with a little bit, you can always add more. And then, about a 1/4 cup of olive oil. Now, you're going to emulsify this by shaking it. If you wanted to do it in a bowl, or you didn't have a mason jar, you'd put all the ingredients in except for the oil, and you would whisk it vigorously as you pour the oil in. This will help the two come together, and it will actually make what looks like a creamy dressing. The Dijon mustard actually helps with the emulsifying as well. Now, to this, here's my jar with my separated oil. I'm gonna do all of this parsley because it gives it a really nice fresh flavor. Just make sure I don't have any roots in here, which I think I do. By the time this is minced, it'll probably be about a tablespoon. And then I'm gonna break my chives because it'll make it easier to cut. Again, about a tablespoon. For the savory, I'm gonna take maybe what will be about 1/2 teaspoon. And then this thyme, I'm gonna take probably 4 or 5 sprigs of thyme and just strip them of their leaves. So I grab it up top and just pull down. And then I'm gonna pop these flowers off the top. And I'm gonna save a few of those because I'm gonna garnish the salad with it and just make it really beautiful. There's no reason at all why the food you eat, whether it's simple or not, can't be really beautiful as well. Okay, now, I'm just gonna put this in a pile, squish it all up, and get to work mincing. The finer you mince everything, by mincing it together, it's gonna help all those fresh flavors meld together. Whereas if you have big pieces of things, you'll be going along eating your salad and you'll just be like, whoa, that's chives, or that's savory. So by mincing it up small together, it's gonna help all those flavors come together. Now this, I'm making a large batch. This would be good for a very large salad if you're feeding a whole family. I'm just gonna dress a small amount of lettuce. So what I like to do is put this in the mason jar, store it in the fridge for the week, and just give it a shake and dress as much salad as I need just for one salad at a time. So we have a small handful of herbs. And again, it can be anything you want. Okay. Almost forgot. You want about 1/2 teaspoon of salt and some fresh pepper. Just help brighten everything up. This is so good after a long winter of slow cooked food, just to have all this freshness in one little jar on one salad. This is the hard part. Here's your emulsifying. Give it a shake. It's like martini hour. There you go. And as you can see, it looks like a creamy dressing. It's not. It's not really. It's just olive oil and vinegar and mustard and herbs and shallots and salt and pepper. All right. So I'm gonna take this, and on this salad, I'm probably gonna put tablespoon and a half. Toss it with a fork, or if you're like me, with clean hands, just give it a quick toss. Just keep your fingers light so you don't squish the salad. I actually overdressed this quite a bit, but that's okay. I can always add more lettuce. Now, this plate up. Oh, this is gonna be so good. Now I get to make it pretty. Gotta get my fork ready. So now I'm just gonna take a few of these little flowers, sprinkle them over the top. And then some of my thyme flowers and do the same. So many beautiful colors in here. All those beautiful purples and that dark red salad. Lettuce greens, oh, so pretty. And there you have it. A super simple, super classic herby vinaigrette. This is great alongside a simple omelet, or if you want to be really fancy, you can do my French mushroom omelet, which I don't know if it's really French, but that's fine. So you can season this the way that you want. If you don't like mustard that much, just put a little bit less. You can also experiment with your vinegars, and it will give you slightly different tastes, such as apple cider. But I really like the red wine vinegar with the olive oil and the herbs, and please experiment with the herbs. You can make this all season long with whatever variety of herbs that you like. Some other really good ones to consider are dill, chervil, which has kind of a licoricey taste to it. You can add sage, anything that you want. You could put basil in here as well. However you make it, go out, make yourself a jar of dressing and eat it all week. This recipe works great for any seasonal herbs that you have and fresh lettuce greens, no matter where you live, except maybe Southern California. If you do like this video, please be sure to like and subscribe. Thanks so much for following as Oak and Ash cooks your CSA.